What's up, y'all? Dirty Ford over here. Another weekend, another project. Still working on the suspension, the brakes, all that kind of jazz. I went ahead and ordered the Yonaka drag coilovers. I'm gonna go ahead and try them. The blocks was just a little like $200 more probably overall. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try the Yonakas. I'm gonna try to save a little bit of money. It's basically the same thing. You still got the 12K in the front, 18K in the rear. So they should work out good. The True Hearts I had on the car, they weren't bad, but I just wanted something with a little more stiffness since I'm replacing everything. So I had the trailing arms off, sent them to a friend. He pushed in the trailing arm bushings, had them pressed in. They're the spherical kind. I got them from Malaysia. Figured, they were dope looking. I never seen them on any other car. They're like a billet aluminum. The only problem is that the holes for the bolts are a little shy. So I got some drill bits, some step bits, and drill to bring over here. So hopefully I can notch that out a little more bigger, so that way I can put the bolts in and then start tightening everything up. I also ordered a new set of lower control arms. They almost remind me of like the first gen Bloxes. They're pretty dope. I got the new hubs in. We had a problem with the inner bearing. It was sticking, so we just kind of popped the old one, or left that one on, and then the new ones, we popped the new inner out and just slid it right on that way. It should be all right. We're only going to run stage brakes on the rear. But if something were to happen with that hub and that bearing's fucked up, they were really cheap. I'll order a new set. But, for now, we're going to run and see what we got going on with that. Got, like I said, hubs is on, extended studs. So I'm going to run, extended studs all the way around. The ones in the rear were just some cheap ones I bought. They were like 18 bucks, I think, for 10 off of eBay. The front ones, I only got 8, and they were from 1320. So they should be pretty dope. The only difference is there's like a little bit of a nipple that sticks out on the 1320 versus the cheaper ones in the rear. But the lug nuts go right on, so it's no big deal. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and try to pull these trailing arms back off, or at least the one, because I started, obviously ran into the problem with one. But I do have a camber kit, adjustable camber kit, and for the toe. And I got all new bolts, so wherever bolts can go, they're going in. But for right now, boom, that's what we got. Let's get to work. All right, guys, so here's the new bushings. They're spherical. They're really tight. I'm going to spray either like some WD-40 or some like silicone spray, white lithium grease, something to see maybe if it'll help it move a little more. But if you can see, those are the bolt holes, and they're a little shy of what we need. Got the new hubs. These are the extendeds. Seems to be pretty good. I also have a Scarbird brake brackets that I need to put on and bolt these on as well. But yeah, that's what we got. And then the Yonaka springs, set them up next to the ones I had in the rear and kind of put it at the same type of height. Made sure that it had the preload seemed pretty good. It was already there. Everything pretty much is sort of loose in here. I don't have nothing really tight. Those are the new lowers. They're pretty dope. They actually have these little Allen head set screws that go where the bushings are to kind of hold it in place. Right on. So here's the Scarbird kit. So this one here, I want to say they go like that, and that way the caliber and stuff is going to be towards the back. I don't have the calibers in right now, but I do have rotors, because my whole objective was to get the rear suspension put back together and be able to have just the rotor on, so I could put the wheels back on the rear, drop this down, and then take the front off. I also ordered new uppers. The fronts I have, they are adjustable for camber, but I ordered a set of the Megans, nice blue tubular ones. So I ordered those, and yeah, the new ball joints, new hubs, new bearings, the extended studs, and I'm gonna have to take the whole spindle out and then take that to a buddy of mine, and then he'll be able to do all that work for me, just because he has more experience and just knows how to do it a lot better than I do, and I don't have the tools and all that jazz. But if you can see, this doesn't go in, and if you're like, oh man, maybe it's the wrong bolts, no, I made sure. The only thing really holding this on is that upper camber kit. Once I take that bolt off, that's just kind of sitting there, and then the toe adjustment is just kind of sitting inside. So it's not really too many bolts in there, so it's not like a huge big deal. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Alright guys, so got it somewhat back in there. We got the Scarborough brake bracket on there, got the hubs on, got everything locked down, got the holes drilled out for the trailing arm bushings. We went to put these toe adjustments in, and of course on this side I had a problem with the little nut that's in there catching, trying to get the bolt to catch on there, and of course it falls out. And so now I'm in the process of drilling a hole so that way I can get behind it and put a new nut back there. So wish me luck, guys. I'll get a little farther here and be able to get both of these trailing arms back on. So I also noticed, so the way I had these going on was like they're both kind of facing down, but I'm gonna have to flip-flop it because this adjuster seems to work better if it's down here on the lower position. I noticed that when I was inside here, that it was kind of where that nut is, I'm saying, that had fell through, or a lot of times you do have to cut a hole, under it to be able to get in there and put a nut behind it. But it's so close to that tab that this adjuster, it's hard to get this other locking nut to get a wrench or something on it. So it's just going to be a lot easier to flip this around and have it on down here on the lower side, just to make things easier for the adjustment. I've always had a problem with the last times getting this nut on, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that toe adjustment set in, get these bushings all the way up in there. Once I can get all that stuff locked in, then I'll work on getting this lower control arm outside bolt on, and we should be good from there. But I'll let y'all know what we got in a couple minutes here. Alright y'all, so finally got the rear stuff all accomplished. It was such a pain in the ass. Not only did I have to drill new holes for the trailing arm bushings, but that nut, like I said, had fell down. I had to drill a hole in that, and just things obviously weren't lining up properly. Definitely gonna have to adjust that toe. If you can see like how off it is right now. Check this other side out. Yeah, they both are kind of in maybe a little too far than they probably should be. Camber's in a little bit, but definitely have to adjust a few things. Obviously this car is going to need a full-fledged alignment, but I'm just going to go ahead, get the knuckles off, that way I can take it to my buddy and get new hubs, bearings, new ball joints, so I can go ahead and get that stuff taken care of. But have these new Megan upper control arms, and then obviously the Yonaka coilovers for the front. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull these spindles off, get the coilovers out, leave it up on jack stands, and then just call it a day, because it's been eventful. It's been hours on hours just sitting here, one thing after another. It's like, oh, this don't fit, oh, we gotta make a bigger hole, oh, and now that fell down, I gotta cut a hole to get the nut up in there, and then just trying to get everything to line up and bolt in, and then having to adjust the camber, adjust the toe, just so you can get the bolts and stuff to line up, because obviously now everything's adjustable and everything's all out of whack. But it does look so much better now having the disc back there instead of that old drum. So, and I like the way it's sitting. It's sitting right around where the true hearts were. So it's not too high, not too low. So it should have a nice little stance to it, as long as I can knock the front out, just like the rear. So, all right, y'all.